An abandoned building. Two passersby noticed something dark and suspicious in the corner of a garage. They stop. They approach the back and see burned legs. What if a body can hold secrets that no one was ever supposed to discover? This is not just a corpse. It is the body of an unidentified girl, found in 2007 in a garage in the city of Gary, Indiana. For almost 8 years, no one knew who she was. The body was found on February 26, 2007 in an abandoned garage. The remains were partially burned. There were no visible signs of fire in the garage. The body had been set on fire somewhere else. The face was impossible to recognize. Only pink underwear and a burned lower leg remained visible. She was named County Jane Doe. Authorities released her image and tried to identify her, but without success. Erika Hill, 15 years old. No one identified her for almost 8 years. She was born in 1992. Her biological mother struggled with drug and alcohol addiction and was unable to care for her daughter, giving her up at birth. Erika's father was barely involved in her upbringing. He didn't live with her family and had no consistent contact with his daughter. At first, Erika lived with her cousin's grandmother. When the grandmother died in 2001, Erika's older brother, who was 19 years older than her, wanted to take her to South Carolina to live with him. But she refused. Their communication eventually stopped. She was then taken in by her cousin and legal guardian, Erika Hill, when Erika was about 9 years old. Erika seemed caring. She worked as a substitute teacher's aide in the Madison School District, in a department for children with special needs, meaning she was supposed to help children. Erika's mother hoped for the best. She gave her daughter up, believing that family would protect her. But the trust turned into a nightmare. A person who works with children by day and becomes a monstrous abuser at home. That is one of the most horrifying parts of this story. The investigation revealed Erika had been living with Erika for nearly 7 years before her death. Other children in the household were also abused, but Erika suffered the most. Later, Hill's daughter would say that sometimes they were punched and slapped and they considered those days good. Erika was sometimes forced to stand on one leg, while her aunt beat the other leg until it bled. The daughter also told police that her older sister had died by suicide in prison in 2004, which deeply affected her mother's mental state and caused severe depression. Later, medical examiners determined that Erika had more than 170 wounds and scars of varying ages, some fresh, others long healed. The injuries had been inflicted repeatedly over a long period of time. The autopsy revealed extensive bruising, healed fractures, and body weight below normal. Erika was systematically starved, beaten, deprived of sleep, and denied proper care. Neighbors and school staff sometimes saw injuries in her body, but no one attempted to intervene. Few suspected the horror. Neighbors described the aunt as nice, and the children appeared quiet and obedient, reflecting the mask the abuser wore. Erika's sister later said that at times she looked so unwell that she appeared gray from exhaustion, hunger, and beatings. At one point, she weighed only 80 pounds, about 36 kilograms. Once, Erika was taken to the emergency room after her arm had been crushed with a hammer, but her aunt stopped the medical examination as soon as the nurse asked the girl to undress to check for injuries. That is a real level of concealment of cruelty. Why didn't the school or neighbors notice the abuse? Erika was very withdrawn and afraid to speak. She didn't talk about the abuse. She was afraid of her aunt. Her aunt deliberately limited Erika's contact with friends and relatives, isolating her. Erika was threatened that if she tried to run away or told anyone, she or the older children would be killed, and then she would always be found. This fear made any attempt to escape almost impossible. The children simply adapted in order to survive. This is a real psychological effect. Victims of domestic abuse often hide their trauma, especially teenagers. Psychologists refer to this as traumatic bonding or a form of post-traumatic dependency when a victim is afraid to act against the aggressor and may even begin to normalize or rationalize the abuse as normal. Erika's appearance didn't always reveal the danger. Her aunt often concealed bruises with clothing, long sleeves, and hair. Small communities are often close and trusting toward people who appear good. Taylin worked with children and seemed kind. This gave her a social mask that concealed the abuse. Erika Hill's school did report suspicious of abuse. A report dated September 23rd she was filled. However, the family's listed addresses contained incorrect information. As a result, Taylin withdrew all the children from school and social workers were unable to contact them or verify their reports. In February 2007, everything ended tragically. Taylin gathered her family, her sister, her daughter, and 2 other children, and showed them Erika's body in the bathroom. She had fabric stuffed into her mouth, broken teeth in an attempt to hide her identity, multiple injuries, signs of strangulation, which was determined to be the official cause of death. The body was left in the bathroom until the next day. Then Taylin forced the children to load the body into a freezer in the basement. After that, a real attempt to cover up the evidence began. At first, the body was loaded into the family van and taken to the Chicago area. Under a bridge, Taylin tried to burn the remains so that no one could identify the victim. But she changed her mind. She was afraid that an old man walking by might suddenly see the fire and the remains and die of shock. So she returned with the body. The body was loaded into the van again and taken to a garage in Gary, Indiana, where it was discovered a few days later. Taylin threatened the children so that no one would tell anyone what had happened. They were too scared to resist. After the body was found, a photorealistic portrait of Erika was created, but no one recognized her. Police checked for missing persons, but no one linked the found body to a report. Her identity could not be established. Additionally, Talon told everyone that Erika had left home and returned to relatives in Illinois, a lie that no one knew was false. Erika was never officially registered as missing. No one reported her in the database, so the connection between the missing girl and the found body was never made. The real breakthrough came in 2015, 8 years after the body was discovered. One of the household children, two of the children, and another relative saw a facial reconstruction of Erika published by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. She recognized her and called the police. At first, she didn't tell the full truth, but after therapy session, she realized that remaining silent only allowed the crime to go unpunished. She admitted that she had helped move the body under threat from her aunt. She was afraid of becoming the next victim. Hill had told her children at the time, "If you tell anyone, you will be the next." She guided the police to the very garage where the body was found. This was the place she had been afraid to talk about her whole life. Talon Hill was arrested in September 2015 and charged with an involuntary manslaughter and multiple counts of child abuse. She was 50 years old at the time. She faced more severe charges, but in 2016 she pleaded guilty to reduced charges, including causing death and child abuse. The court sentenced her to 20 years in prison. Erika's story is not just a case of brutal murder. It is a tragic tale of systematic abuse, fear, and survival. This is a story of silence, fear, pain, and secrecy that can last almost a decade. It is a truth, a reminder of how important it is to notice the signs of abuse that ordinary people can overlook. The video ends with shots of the empty garage, Erika's reconstructed portrait, and a brief message. This is not just an investigation. It is a voice of someone no one heard in time.